Treasuries trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Well, yesterday, can't really put it any other way, was a dumpster fire. Yesterday was an absolute fucking disaster for markets. Let's move this a little bit off. And it sucks. I mean, not that I lost money on a trade or anything, but like, I have a 401k, don't you? So it sucks. This does appear to be a bear market, and I'm going to go even further and say, like, I think that where we're at already could be considered, it's not just a pullback. It's just that the way that things work now, you don't get dips as low because interest rates are so low. So, like these 50% market declines the last years and that sort of, you're not going to get that anymore. What happened during the Euro crisis, that I would consider the same thing, and this is deeper, worse, apparently. Appears to be, but in larger market terms, though, it's going to be just a pullback of some sort. So yeah, and it could keep going because, like, really, the Fed is just like doesn't get it. So yeah. So I think when I'm just looking at the chart, so you can see we had a pretty big push up and markets are holding it. Pretty big push down. So this is such a big sell. There is really not very many people left to sell. So I think in the short term we may actually go up, but overall I don't think we've seen lows. Maybe lows for the year, but probably not lows for next year. But we'll see. Maybe things improve. Anyways, let's grab the links. Okay, there's that. And let's set up everything else. Squawk, we do have numbers in 10 minutes because it's a Thursday. Here and this here. Switch. Go. There we go. Now I can see. YouTube might still be giving me weird numbers because normally there's at least 3 people watching on YouTube and I've got 0. And 2 on Twitch. Good morning, Twitch. How are you? Well, I don't know if anybody's really going to want to trade that badly after all that disaster yesterday, you know? I like this move down in the ZB. Well, I don't like it, but like in a good spot, and I think I would rather buy, I don't know. So,
Right, so at the bottom of the hour, we do have some North American data. We're looking at initial jobless
oh, by
claims
the way, can you hear that?
for the December 15th week ending.
Yeah, you can hear
216,000
that.
expected after 200,000 last week. The range 202,000 to 230,000. As for continuing claims, that's seen at 1.665 million versus 1.61. The range 1.63 to 1.7 million. 4-week average last week came in at 224,750. Also get fully fed business index for December on the wires. Expected to rise to 15 from 12.9 last month. The range 10 to 20.4, 10 to 24. Last month we saw a 6-month index at 27.2. We saw the capex index at 36.1. Employment index last month was 16.3. Prices paid in November came in at 39.3, and new orders at 9.1. We'll also see average weekly earnings out of Canada month of October. Last month saw a rise of 1.8%, and wholesale trade month on month for October expected up 0.4% from fall of 4.5% previously, range 0.2 to 1%.
Wow. Oh, what did somebody? What's this one did? Look at this picture. $36,000. Yeah, but how many contracts did they trade? 121 trades. That's bullshit. There's no way. I don't think that was a live account. That's in like Ninja Trader 7. Probably not. Well, I'd like to see it. 121 trades. It's interesting. Probably want to zoom things in a little bit now. So we're kind of in a hard spot, I think, because the market sucks. Um, the E-mini is super unhappy, but um, the fundamentals of what the Fed says is that interest rates should move down. I mean, they're hawkish, so interest rates should move down, but they're moving up. Sorry, interest rates should move up. Bond prices should move down, but bond prices have been moving up because the market is so freaked out.
Right, we are 3 minutes away now from the bottom of the hour, and the initial jobless claims then in at 216,000 versus 206,000 last week. Claims 1.5 expected 1.6. I will start with Philly Fed business index though. It was 15 from 12.9 last month. At the range there, 10 to 20. Some indices here, you got the 27.2 previously for 6 index. CapEx last month 36.1. Employment came in at 3. Prices paid previously was 39.3, and new orders at 1. Canadian data wholesale trade month over month for October expected to rise by 0.4% after falling by 0.5% around range point. Also get average weekly earnings for October. Seen up last time around, seen up 10%.
Let's move these. I mean, there's numbers up there. I don't know. I don't think that the selling in the mini is done yet, but it is awfully overdone. It's awfully overdone.
It's the half hour.
North Korea won't give up nukes unless U.S. abandons its nuclear umbrella. President Moon doesn't believe that. Well, I think that you just let President Moon do his thing. They've been doing a good job so far.
Ten seconds. Okay, well, jobless claims that have come in at 214,000 versus 206,000. 1.688 million versus 1.5 million out there. Canadian wholesale trade up 1% versus fall of 0.7. We saw really data to hit buyers from what I see.
Jobless claims 214 versus 219. So less than expected.
Data coming up there 9.4 versus a revised 12.9 via a previous 12.9 rather. 9.4
Okay.
for Philly Fed. 6-month index 31.7, employment 18.3, prices paid 38 versus 39.3, new orders at 14.5, rising 9.1, and employment 18.3. Then with that capex index at 35.7,
So it's not
falling
good.
from 36.1.
Did we just get a push up? Yeah.
To recap, then the headline 9.4, missing the 15 expected after 12.9. Prices paid at 38 versus 39.3. New orders at 14.5, rising from 9.1. And we have capex at 35.7 versus 36.1. 6-month index at 31.7, rising from 27.2. You got German wages data. Germany's Verdi unions demands a 6% more pay for public sector federal state.
Hmm. That's completely pulling. So I'm suspicious of that move down because it completely pulled and not that much volume went into it. And look, the E-mini is moving down. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so the 5-year is not necessarily doing what I want it to. Could be accumulation from buyers. Pushes it. I'm tempted to try and take one and then see if I can get back in long, but the way that it's behaving makes me unsure if I would be able to get it.
Italy Giorgetti says the economy Tria was constantly acting as a brake in government budget negotiation, while others accelerated.
Um, there's also going to be some resistance here at 06 half, right? Yep. Although it's not on the DOM, that resistance. That's interesting. E-mini's got more to go. They've got a ton of unfinished auctions down here. Yep. I want to hold this. That's a lure. There was hardly any bid there. It pulled. They sold it. There was 2,500 actually ended up being under there, and now they're stacking it. Okay, there is some profit taking at 065.
But that Philly Fed business conditions since after numbers, their Rite Aid numbers last night after the bell. Rite Aid shares up nearly 13% in trade.
Suck. Okay. Hold on. You're getting a little pullback in the E-mini. There was a stack there at 06. That's not good. And a pull at 05 half. That might be just trying to scare us out. But there is some resistance at 31. And the 5, yeah. So what just happened there was I had the right trade and we got up there to 06 half, but there was not impetus for more at that time. So I got out and everybody got out. And now it's ticking up again. Pretty aggressively, I might add. This is where got to be more conservative on this because of the way that they're being. No, you're not. Stop it. You're so full of shit, dude. See, it's not filling. Oh, pulling. I'm just gonna wait here. See what happens. Oh my. I guess one of the things that I need to keep in mind, even though the market looks unhappy, there probably is going to be some people that want to sell treasuries because they think that the Fed is still too hawkish. And there was definitely something there around '06 that, especially in the 10-year, that I did not want to. They wanted it to go down. There was a ton that bought there in the 5-year. Peter is going short too. Spread trade is done, huh? See, this does not the order flow that I'm seeing right now is not scary. It's frustrating. It's like they want it's I keep feeling like I'm gonna miss something. I'm thinking, oh, I should have, maybe I should buy '06 before it ticks up. Maybe I should buy '05 half before it ticks up. Or maybe I should sell '06.5 before it ticks down. I missed that one. And when it does move, it's going in like 2 ticks really quick. Or it did that a few times. So this to me looks like an area where they are trying to force people into making mistakes. There could be some spreading because there was definitely some unusual order flow there in the 10-year compared to the other ones. Like the 10-year sold a lot more than the 5-year did. See, they're ticking back up here really quickly. So when it's frustrating like that, my strategy is to reduce risk. If I take a trade, it's got to be on the edge. there could be a good case for going short for sure because if the E-mini recovers, Treasuries could definitely move down. They're definitely oversold. And the fundamental case suggests the Treasuries should move down because the Fed is going to continue to raise rates. You could see Treasuries move down, and that hurt equities even more. So one third scenarios where the ES goes up and this goes down, and there's scenarios where this goes down and this goes down. And they're buying into 06 again. See? I mean, some of these FOMO trades would have actually worked out if I was only taking one or two ticks. Let me fix this microphone coder. It's a little twisted up. The 30-year did move higher. So that's the move, at least to location, that I was expecting.
Back's under a little bit of pressure again now.
Not so sure that order flow wise that it was what I wanted. If I was still in, I was in at 05 half, right? So I'd still be looking at like taking one, possibly two, seeing if it's going to break out to 070 and not knowing, and there's a ledge and everything like that. And I really don't have a lot to tell me that it's going to break over that edge or not. Although the move down did not get nearly as low as the pivot before it. So that does suggest higher.
Biggest loser on the DAX, and it's still Deutsche Bank at the moment. It's still embroiled in another probe. Well, according to the FT, you also got the likes of ThyssenKrupp, Heidelberg, Cement, Infineon, Volkswagen, all trading heavier.
I'd love to be taking a winner here, but this is not the right action. That was the spread, huh? I mean, you better just be joking. I really hope, for your sake, that you're joking around. Because if you're taking big trades like that at a firm and you're telling us you really shouldn't be doing that, man. And it doesn't really help us that much because I can't believe what you're saying.
Guesting David Tepper. And he says cash is not so bad as an investment now.
Makes me wonder though if he was taking a spread. I mean, if let's just say the spreaders in general, what are they doing here? And it looks to me like they are flattening again. Okay, so there they're taking oh 07. And a decent amount of volume at 07 as well. Peter's still short because that just flipped on us really fast. See picture. Sure what you're talking about, but look at the spread. Okay. So maybe 085 now? We have more information. We know that the long was the right thing. Yes, you're right. Oh no, he's talking about spread in E-minis. Sure. The E-mini went down and so Treasuries moved up in response too. I'm more talking about this right here in the 30-year. See? They bought the 30-year there at 28. No tick up over here. If you want to make money on buying, you want to do it over here. If you have the risk for it, of course. I don't. So seeing that size stack at 07. Man. Hmm.
Shares in Italian banking sector down some 2.5% plus at the moment.
Big order at 31. I should really try and put things in perspective here because there is only 3,500 being bid at a lot of prices, and it's almost 7 o'clock. So that's pretty low liquidity. And it looks to me like, yeah, the E-mini is getting creamed, but this also looks like that we may have already entered into the Christmas lull. Well, there's 08 if I had been able to hold that, which I couldn't. Which, well, I could have. I really could have. I mean, it only went down. Well, I take that back. How far did it go down? It went down to 045? It went way down there. I mean, if you bought down there, but how did I know that it was going to stop there? It really was kind of random, wasn't it? See that thing? It pushed us down, and then they just kind of let it come back up. I may not actually take any trades today. I'm starting to feel a little woozy for some reason. This is really shitty order flow, even though you got a pretty good move there from 055 to 085. I could have made 9 ticks on it, but I got out because the order flow was shitty. It's frustrating, but I really, what if it had gone the other way? I really think that staying out is the best thing right now, unless like the liquidity really moves out or the E-mini pukes. And I mean, the E-mini could keep going. We could easily break highs here, frankly.
Be aware, Prime Minister May.
But I want to see clearer order flow.
Counterpart now holding a press conference.
I don't know what the deal is, but I just feel really nauseous right now. I went in half in on my budget for Bitcoin waiting for NP. I'm not sure what you mean by NP, but they had another pretty good buy there overnight. So my numbers were saying 4,500 would be oversold, overbought again. So you're in. Oh, excuse me. I gotta sneeze. If you got in on this bull and you've made some money, I'm just putting it out there that 4,000 to 4,500 is very overbought in Bitcoin. Well, not very, but it is overbought in Bitcoin, and that you might want to consider taking profits there. I'm not giving financial advice or saying you should do this or that. I'm kind of more saying like that's what I would do if I was in it. That's what my strategy is saying. It's up to you to decide what course of action is best for you. And then again, huh? This is just, there's just not enough liquidity. That's why we're getting more jumpy moves.
According to Washington Post, US and allies set to call out China for economic espionage. Yeah, we had something from the EU earlier today regarding that. Sorry about that. US allies to call out China for economic espionage. Washington Post piece.
Yeah, I don't know what my deal is. I just don't feel good all of a sudden. So do you see that 085? At 08 there's 3800 bid. At 09 there's 4000 bid, but oh, excuse me. At 085 there's only 3500 bid. Unusual. It's unusual to have an outlier like that. Significantly less than the ones next to it. Talking about this, the spread with E-minis again. Let's see here. Yeah. And you're right. And it's a really good observation that the E-mini pulled back a little bit, and Treasuries pulled back. E-mini went up, Treasuries came down. Treasuries are now giving you a really good risk-reward spot to buy. So the problem I have is that risk reward and kind of the chart patterns and the range and everything kind of tells me to buy here. But I don't necessarily see anything order flow wise to make me think that I could buy 07. So I think if I had to make a trade, that buying 07 would be the right thing. But because I'm not seeing the kind of order flow that I want for a good read, I'm just going to sit on my hands today. Probably could get a really good move here. What are you saying sorry about? You really confuse me sometimes, dude.
carnival numbers hit the wires here. Adjusted EPS comes in at 70 cents, as bang in line with estimates. Not a Q for GAAP EPS at 71 cents, but adjusted there 70 cents. Revenue at 4.4 billion, roughly in line, 4.44. Q1, they're expecting an adjusted EPS at 40 to 44 cents, which was below the 44 cents and
Well, they did buy.
Prime Minister May there says ministers are clear that we are focusing on getting Brexit deal through Parliament.
And only just a little bit of a buy, and now it's back down. Man, how are you guys doing? Any of you guys actually? Oh, wrong picture. Okay, let me look at this one. I can copy and paste it. Right. They're just spreading the E-mini and the treasuries right now. That's kind of what it looks like to me. And you're getting pretty unusual behavior in the treasuries because it's basically moving more like what the E-mini does with lots of random swings. But I think that part of what is also going on is that there's just not a lot of liquidity holding price, and so that allows the E-mini to move it further than it normally would.
They still not really bringing anything to talk around Brexit.
That move 3 points in the E-mini, and we moved like 4 to 6 ticks. That's how many times have we seen, like, we thought that the E-mini was going to move, and it goes and it moves like 10 points, and then the treasuries don't move at all. You know what I mean? Because of the liquidity. This is just a really awful environment for order flow reads. It's moving around with almost no warning. Look at this right here. Look at the overall level 2. Red, blue, red, blue. It's both all over the place. Even here in the 5-year. A little bit of absorption. It looks like there's a little bit of buying in the 5-year, but it's pretty random. Pretty random. So this is not action conducive to good order flow reads. Not at all.
Just hearing across the social media, UBS is set to intensify its succession planning for CEO Ermotti. Right, we have put up on the board um, news around today's company news. Quite a bit out there today to lead into, really. M&A deals and probes and the like. That's all up on our board for you ahead of the open. We are looking south at the moment with futures negative territory for the likes of the E-minis and the Nasdaq here going into the open. European bourse is also under the cosh a little bit. And down at session lows. DAX under pressure with banks, brokers, a new probe through on bond probe on 4 banks at UBS and Deutsche Bank, prominent banks being mentioned in this FT probe that these build. Remnants of the stays Fed. A decision and subsequent statement have kept risk on its back foot. Next up, we've got leading indicator data for the US at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 o'clock UK time.
I hear a dog. The more I look at this, the more I'm tempted to trade it, even though I know that it's not a very good action. So I'm gonna go let the dog go to the bathroom. He sounds really unhappy. Okay. Well, they did make it a little bit higher. Finally. But not without doing like what? Was it 1, 2, 3, 4? Depending on how you count it, 6 to 8 ticks pullback. So this is really awful flow. This really looks to me like Christmas trading. Maybe not quite as bad in terms of liquidity, but in terms of like the way that it moves and stuff, it's definitely that. Okay, so immediately on the open, as we have seen now for several days, some significant buying impulses immediately on the open. But in past days, they don't really hold. So we'll see. It's testing this range for the 5th time. Well, it's tested this range in the E-minis many times, I know that. Technically, yesterday was kind of like a breakout, though. Sellers won that battle. It went a little bit lower, even though the cumulative delta is slightly higher.
It's an FX just ahead of the 10 a.m. Minus sign. Wiry. Over 5. At 150.
That GoFundMe is still going? I thought that they like got rid of it. Let's see. GoFundMe.com/the Trump wall. That's funny. 3 million? 3 million in 24 hours. Wow. That's hilarious, guys. I don't think that they're going to get to $1 billion, though. That would take a lot. Well, I guess if 1 million people did it, there's only 58,000 so far. Oh. That must be the CIA listening to us on my phone. I don't know if you guys can hear that sort of thing. But I can definitely hear my cell phone interfering with the microphone. And right back down to 070. This is where you would buy it. If you want to buy it. Maybe the E-mini pulls it out here, though. I mean, that the move up was pretty solid. Swisso says I love ZN today. Well, that's where I'm just like, if you just do it based off of the price action, which is to say, it came down here, it's at 07. It's rotated around 07 a few times. Hold on.
Spending legislation.
It's rotated around there a few times. It's sat there for a little bit. That's where it turns around. And you just buy it there, and then you wait for it to go up and to possibly make a new high and kind of sit there and then take it off. And you can scalp that a bunch of times. It's just the order flow is not going to tell you.
GOP Collins.
But the problem with it is that at some point, the pattern is going to fail. In all likelihood, at some point, it might fail. When that happens, maybe we'll get an order flow signal. But, you know, like this is the spot that you should buy it. But what if the E-mini pulls it out here and then goes up and makes a new overnight high, you know, daily extended session high? So what if the E-mini goes up and makes a new extended session high? Well, then we're going down, down, down. So this kind of comes back to some fundamentals favor a drop in treasuries. Not necessarily. But now, so this is like my least favorite one tick chart pattern. You see that right there? 2 ticks down, 2 ticks up. They're just skipping '07 and '07 half. They're just going zoop 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 zoop. If you know what's going to happen, you can get the tick between them, two of them. But you go the wrong way, you're like immediately getting stopped out, right? Orders push it up, the orders push it down is not a signal, it's how to trade. It's just not a good order flow read though. It's not behaving.
More from Collins saying the U.S. House to vote stopgap funding bill. House Republican leader expect Trump to be.
That's unfortunate. Well, If you want the wall to be built, it's very unfortunate. They do sound like they're going to vote on it, so that means... sorry guys, but I just don't see it. I think that you're all just reading the harmonic rotation of it and not order flow. Well, there was actually a signal that went through right there. They traded through an iceberg and then they stacked quite a bit at 08 and very quickly went another tick up. Even cleared 09 at one point. I mean, he did the fell apart there.
Equity drugs regulator orders stop using material at 2 big factories. That regulator telling current raw materials till its source at that, saying that asbestos take time.
So I said there's a signal that would normally be reliable, and it did go, but it was good for 2 ticks. So this whole like, oh, the order flow is great and there's great reads, I think you guys are full of shit. I don't see it. That was something that would normally, it's only good for 2 ticks. And it's rotating 6 ticks. There's not icebergs or pulling or big orders holding it up or divergences in the cumulative delta or divergences in the spreads or any of that. If you're making money right now, you're probably just making it off of the rotation. So Fib Future says ZN is on high. Well, it wasn't on the high. 2K sell back and 15K bids pull off. I don't see that. I don't see that. Uh, to me, order flow would be some reading of both the volume and the level 2. And it's going to be specifically, well, not specifically, but it's most commonly going to be some sort of imbalance in those forces. The four forces: the buy side liquidity, the sell side
In
liquidity,
Energy News said Dow
the
Jones
market buys, and the
Saudis
market
to cut more
sells.
than initially disclosed as part of the deal. That the Dow Jones sources saying Saudis to cut more than initially disclosed as part of the OPEC deal.
So to me, if you saw that it came up to 09, sorry, if you saw that it came up to 09 and then kind of paused and ticked down, that is not necessarily order flow. That is more price action and knowing the range, essentially. Right? That's how I look at it. Okay, so we are seeing an order flow aberration now at 075. There is a number of orders stacked at 07 half as we pivoted off of it. That one, though, given the context, is not necessarily super predictive, because if 08 goes offer, those probably all just pull. But
Dow
what
Jones saying Saudis to slash about 300,000 barrels per day from instead of the announced 50k.
But what it does mean is that some algorithms either didn't get filled or otherwise saw a pivot there.
These comments coming from a Wall Street Journal piece a couple of minutes ago, putting it on our board, and I'm just going through it myself. The Wall Street Journal piece confirmed Saudi Arabia will reduce crude output by around 2,000. Announced at the cartels this month. That would cut Saudi output to 10.311 million. But in the document, apparently Mr. Volkin, Secretary General, says Saudi Arabia had even committed gas production 2 million.
I think you're full of shit. Post, do you have a screenshot of the trades that you've taken?
Many OPEC members actually increased use output beginning on first half as that. Angola and Algeria, both state-run, constructed this cut flow.
So what I see is something that if you get in is liable to go 2 ticks against you and then come right back to your price.
Not reading. My print sense.
That is not their trending action. That is not. Why is that? Let me back up. See all these little gaps? Gap. 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 Here's one. Here's one. Okay. Here's one. Here's one. These are all spots where if you got in and you got in the wrong way, it was immediately going against you. It's not showing you spots that are necessarily going to hold. You know, you got in here, you'd have to sell it short. And what is the so see, like this move down here. Look at the market buys versus market sells. No change. No change at all. And so then what does it do? It goes down and it immediately comes right back up to where it was. Okay. And when we see the order flow, you are getting kind of these things along the edges. But if I can show you, like for instance right here, they're not holding. Sometimes they don't get all the way to the edge of it. Right? And even if you take that one, it comes right back. So even the ones that do kind of work aren't worth very much. So the question you got to ask yourself is right now is the well, yeah, but that's not order flow. Yeah, but that's man, look at ES go. My guess. I'm just saying it's not telling you what prices are going to hold. And it's not telling you anything that's good for more than like 5 minutes. Which, I mean, I suppose is okay, but the risk reward on it isn't very good. Kind of depends on where you took it, but just like maybe this one, for instance, you took it, you got 2 ticks, right? Even this one, you took it, you got 2 ticks, and we're not. There's no way for me to know. Is it going to stop here and move higher? Nope, because they just broke the edge right there. They traded into 070. Well, okay, but if you're risking one, you're going to get stopped out. Almost guaranteed. The way that it's trading. Not almost guaranteed, but I mean, a lot of these spots have been broken by 1 tick, right? If you had just bought this, what happened right there is a perfect example. So he said, well, okay, maybe they really do want to go up to get the high, and you could buy there, and now it has gone down. And how do you know that it was going to go down? Because I didn't see anything. All I saw was that people were buying there, and it just collapsed because the E-mini is recovering. So that's not clear order flow to me. I do not know what to say. Here's what you say is, here are the trades that I took. Yeah. Like if you went in and took those and you only risked one and you made 3 and you were able to get that 50% of the time and you took like, 4 to 6 trades on it or something, then maybe you have a point. But I don't think any of you actually have that, or he would have already showed me. He would have just been like, oh no, it's easy. See, look, here. These are the spots that I took.
Republican focusing its House votes on the
But isn't the government supposed to shut down on Friday? I'm not. Okay. And why would it be Friday? That's kind of weird. But there could be all sorts of reasons why I guess. I don't understand enough about the legislative process to understand why it takes the amount of time that it does. Like, right back to 06 now is kind of funny. Now, the other things is that if you want to, if you really want to trade the harmonic rotation of it, which is kind of what I think you're saying when you say, like, the rotations is 2 ticks, 3 ticks, or whatever. So you trade 2 to 3 ticks. If that's what you want to do, you probably would do better in the E-mini, because those sorts of things are much more reliable in the E-mini. You have way more room to get that sort of a thing, and you can kind of find when the momentum is coming in and take it as she goes. It just didn't work out for me when I was doing it. What would I rather see? I would rather see, like, buy, and it goes up to here, and it ranges around, and then it either comes back or it makes a new high, and then it's done. And not this, what is this? Trade back and forth across the same 8 tick range 5 times. I mean, that would be okay if there was like big icebergs on the edge that would give you a really clear idea that that's where it's going to stop, but I'm not seeing that. So that's still where I'm like, I don't see the order flow.
decimated.
Where I'm saying I don't really see the order flow to support trading today. That is a scalper's dream. I mean, let me try and rephrase my point a little bit. Yeah.
Stated.
If you want to scalp for only a few ticks, there is a lot of opportunities to do it. But the probability of your trade being right is not as high as other days with better order flow. Just isn't. There are some days, like the trend days, where I could buy on the edge and be right literally every time. And the order flow will tell you exactly where to do it. And this one is showing you spots and blowing right through them left and right. So there's a really high chance that you're going to get stopped out on some of these. A trend, a really good trend day is one of the days where you can. It's not always like that, but that's one of the places where you can get the best order flow. There are some trend days that are pretty iffy, but jeez. Is that green? $250,000 green? That's amazing. Well, but here's the problem: all of you are saying, "Oh no, you can totally trade this," but none of you have shown me that you actually did it. I think I took one trade and I scratched it and I stayed out, and I'm haven't lost anything on the day. What did you do? Show me. Are you profitable today? I think I saw that the order flow isn't very good and I didn't take a trade. That's good trading right there. But I'm just saying, it's really easy to pull this window up and take a picture and go into Discord and post it. And none of you are doing it. And that's what it would take to convince me. You know how stubborn I am.
News conference saying
Okay, sure.
from a meeting speaker.
You know what? You're right, because I am kind of posing it as advice, and I really shouldn't be posing it that way. I should be saying my view of it is that the order flow read is not good, and that's why I'm not taking a trade. I shouldn't be saying you shouldn't be taking a trade either. That's wrong, because you might have an edge that says that you should trade it. But then, the kind of the thing that I'm trying to getting at is I'm saying this is the read and you guys are saying I'm wrong, and I would like to see some proof that that's not true. Because what I'm hearing is, oh hey, trading during the Christmas season is actually can be really good. And I just don't agree with that. It's all the way back down to 045. So I think one thing is very clear is that you can make money on this, but there is no trend whatsoever in this. They are very range bound right now. and very indecisive in treasuries in particular. E-mini might actually pull this out. I mean, they did make a high there, a swing high, a new swing high. And besides, I am profitable in December. So that was profitable yesterday. I think I'm profitable on the week even. Just barely, by like a tick. I lost 5 on, what was it, Tuesday. I made 6 on Thursday, and then I think on Monday, well, we can take it like this. We can say, not today, but from the 17th. Yeah. I think it's like maybe by a tick I'm profitable. Oh, it's break even. For the month though, it should be profitable. Yep, 312. I'm pretty proud of myself. Part of it, honestly, is I think I'm frustrated because I wanted to come in today and see the E-mini do something like really clear. Like either they're gonna buy the fuck out of this or it's just gonna be the end of the world. And that may yet happen, but it's just that it's doing it in such a way that I can't trade it. So I was hoping to come in and have a good trading day, and it doesn't look like it's gonna give it to me. Because it's just too much of a... Now that trend, this move down was much cleaner and stronger than anything else we've seen. That 120? Yes, it is. Interesting that you're getting kind of the... What should we call this? Oops. That was... Well. Let's call this the lip. Yeah? You kind of get that little extra amount of liquidity right at the swing. So it's a little, there was, for a moment there at least, there was quite a bit more of a lip on the 5-year and the 30-year than there was the 10. I mean, it's about 300 contracts of a lip over here versus a 500 contracts of a lip over here. So I traded for, I feel confident enough right now to go live, but I don't have the money because of the freaking yard thing, unfortunately.
Spokesman, appointed by
They were gonna pull back a little bit here again. This still looks. I was thinking like, okay, I really like that downtrend. Maybe we could actually go short if we get a pullback to like 0607. So now we're at the spot where maybe I could consider taking a short, right? But that swing high in the E-mini was not the overnight high. We could come all the way back to the previous swing low, potentially. It's really uncertain to me. Oh no, wait, hold on. Okay, so here's a big order that showed up when they went through it, and yes. That might be one that I can play. Nope. I mean, it's telling the order flow is telling you that that's the spot at 055. They're trying to get back into the edge, and it's not. They're not letting you. I phrase that kind of weird. It's trying to get back into the range between 05 half and 06 half, and they keep kicking it out. You don't think so? All I'm seeing is that about 3,000 traded, and they're having a really hard time keeping it bid.
Weeks at one spot.
So I think that increases the probability of that particular price holding, but it's probably not enough for me to take a trade off of it on my own, on its own. Now here on the other side, like here at 06 half, yeah, because now we're actually in the profile, so the chances are that they will trade 06 half. Come on. Okay. Now they're almost sure. Okay, yeah. So now they trade 06 half. And then the next spot, I guess, would be 08, potentially. The wrong spot. Yeah, this 06 half, that would be like a volume profile edge, right? That would be like seeing a price that has significance because of a volume profile, and then seeing if an order flow signal happens there as well. Like a big iceberg holding it at 065. You could spend all the spare time you save working a casual job and saving money. Yeah. So during it's oh, so this is kind of interesting. Not that you guys probably care, but it's interesting to me. So kind of got two things going on. Like it seems to me like I used to like to play shooter games, and it seems to me that they just don't make any good competitive shooter games anymore. And the game that I really liked was Unreal Tournament, and recently, like last week, Epic Games pretty much admitted that that project is dead now, and that they're only working on Fortnite. Um, so I've kind of thought that maybe I would make my own. I've worked with that a lot.
Selling its percent stake in Solar partner.
And I'll have some time because when it comes into the winter trading, um, I'm not going to trade it, but I'm still going to wake up early. And so I thought, okay, why don't we wake up early and try making something in Unreal Engine? And I get a week to do that, and we'll see if I'm able to make enough progress on it, and I make something that's good. Then maybe I could continue through with that and see, because I have an idea that's kind of unique. I don't really want to go into it, but it's the main gist of it is something that would be really, really hard to play. It would take a lot of skill. Is basically the idea. But then the other thing is that the game that I used to play, PlanetSide, they're making like a new version of it that's kind of more battle royale based. And not that I'm a fan of those kinds of games, but it actually sounds like it solved a lot of the problems that I had with PlanetSide, the MMO. So, if that comes out, I might stream that, because I was pretty good at that game. I thought I would lead, get a squad of people together and do that. That was fun, and people said that I was good at it, and I enjoyed doing it. I just get to yell at people and tell them what to do. It was great. So like, might do that. And if you can get a following on Twitch, it doesn't even have to be a ton. It just has to be like 100 people that you can do really well doing that sort of a thing. Wait for the next crash at least.
And just a heads up as well, it's under 9 so minutes. Now we'll get story for TF. It's last 70 TF will have a stop.
I say goodbye, huh? I don't know. The E-mini fell and made a lower low. Treasuries did not come back. What's this link this was posted? I can't really, if for short. Don't trade it. The 06. Oh, and go long down here. Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. He was saying, I think he's gotten out, but he was saying that because this is the point of control right here, you really don't want to trade up and in here. You would rather, buy in this kind of area and sell in this kind of area. And that's probably true because of the way that it's behaving. In particular, you want to catch the edges. But I'm always kind of looking and thinking like, I think I can buy 045 and take it off at 065 or 07. Right there. That's kind of the spot that I see. So I kind of think I could maybe buy it here and take it off here and take 2 or whatever. But then if the E-mini really starts to go down for another rush, you could get much further than that. So then I'm like, well, maybe I should just straight up buy right here. If it fill me. There is this lip right here. This thing. This here. It's a little bit of a stronger one, you can see right there, than some of this other stuff that looks like mostly noise. We'd have to be thinking, though, that the E-mini is going to go really far down. So there's a bit of buying there. Bit of buying in the E-mini. I know it's stalling out already. Okay. Oh my. Look at that right there in the 5-year. So there was a spread. I'm going to say he bought ZN and sold ZF. Is what I think just happened there. So that would be more flattening. That 097 is already weak. 050 is weak over here, so they're not in agreement. It's flipping back and forth in the 5-year too. It's still absorbing. Just ask yourself, where is the edge for buyers and sellers? In the range, value, or outside? You want it to be outside of value for you, huh? I just see this iceberg right here. Like, I was looking at it. Okay, there's a lip. Maybe this is a spot that it turns around. The E-mini does look like there's a lot of selling. And then a 10K iceberg came out, which is by far the most significant thing that we've seen today. And it looks like it's holding. There you go.
1 minute.
What is the... Oh. Uh-oh. What's he saying? You gonna ruin this for me? When I begrudgingly signed the omnibus bill, I was promised the wall and border security by leadership would be done by end of year. Now, it didn't happen. We foolishly fight for border security for other countries, but not for our beloved USA. Not good. He is. I was wondering if that was going to come up. Because they're passing that bill. But he's not going to veto that bill if it gets to him, right? So why, I don't even, what's even the point of saying that other than to vent your frustration, I guess? Oh, that was a really good stack on that uptick there. Like 3K stacking at 05 half.
The draw of 141 BC. Bigger draw estimated.
And they're still absorbing at 06. Nope, it didn't actually. When it ticks like that, it's kind of hard to read, but I tend to just stick with what's the current momentum. And they're still, so that to me is they're still buying it. The E-mini's not clearly indicating what it's going to do. They're actually kind of buying up a little bit there. The seller's going to come in because the cumulative delta is definitely down in the E-mini. And this is getting awfully jumpy again. Buying it strong. Okay. Well, shit. No trade in the value. I don't know if it's ever gonna get outside the value. Yeah, if you gotta go, just go, dude. I don't know if I'm just realizing like that one I was a good trade, but it's the same thing. It's like it's only good for 2 or 3 ticks. I should have taken 2 there. Yeah. So they're still absorbing at 05. Hmm. And not that time. Look at the cumulative delta is still kind of low. Looks heavy to me. Looks like some buyers really tried to pull it out there, but I think that they might give up. They might give in here soon. Still some fight left in her. So 4-5 is not is stacking. That's not a good sign for our trade. And they're not stacking a lot when they tick up to 05. Okay, that's a little better. Hmm.
One of my wires have just gone down.
Yeah. See, now this lip is not holding at all. I don't know if he trades options. He's kind of a little bit vague about what he does. But supposedly he trades for a company. Possibly. So what concerns me here about this trade? I liked the spot. I liked the initial thing that I got up, and maybe it still holds, but it seems to me like they're reacting much more to the uptrends in the E-mini than they are to the downtrends. Because it looked really scary there for a second. And this lip that I was kind of using as my risk is not really showing itself to be reliable anymore. So, yeah, okay. Didn't I get MFE off of this one? Yes, I did. I got like 3 off of it. It didn't show it. Now it does. I refreshed it. Hmm. See, I thought. Oh, why did I think that? Oh, right, because there was an iceberg. I was trading completely off of the iceberg. I don't know why I took a second one. Oh, I took a second one because I thought the iceberg was still there. And it wasn't, so I got out. So I guess it was wrong. But the first trade was good. I just didn't take the profit on it. That was kind of dumb. And I even saw that. I don't know why. I should have just taken it off there immediately, but for some reason I really thought that the E-mini was about to puke that the E-mini was about to puke and we were gonna move up. At the moment though, it really looks to me like they are more concerned about the other case. And look at the way that this volume is. Like there's people short all the way through here. So if this breaks highs
Oh, it's back
and
up
they
in
give
line
up, there
again.
could be some real stop runs higher. And I think that the treasuries must know that, and that's why they're acting the way they are. You know what else? It's past my trading time, so minus 2. But only because I made the mistake. I made the mistake on this one too, but really when they're only giving me those teeny tiny ones, I don't necessarily want to be trading. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go and type up my notes here, but I want to stick around as long as I can to see if which side of this the E-mini decides to break out from. Oh, look, now there's an iceberg there at 035 too. But the E-mini is really pumping now, so So now we're back to more of a spot that you could potentially buy. Okay, I like how that happened. Indications of allure, because as soon as it got filled, they immediately pulled the offer and tried to take it up. And the ES is going the right direction. And they turned right near that high. A lot of level 2 games here. Both sides pulling all the way down to like 800 at some points, but not a ton of volume to trade it and make it tick through. I think we will tick up here, which actually was 2,000 to hold it. I don't know, cumulative delta is actually building up. Is that the E-mini trying to fight the downtrend and failing? Hmm. I finally ticked up, it took 3,000 though. If it gets up there. Given the time though, I'm probably going to take it off earlier than that.
Up as well, just under this time at Treasury and now sizes as well as the 2.5 sizes. $18 billion 5-year, 7-year.
So they're really putting the pressure on this now. Look at that.
And news, Libya is restarting. So able to see.
Block cell.
Shit. I should have sold that earlier. Look at this. Nope. Nope. Mm-hmm. I think I look a fool here. Tried reversing on it, and now it's immediately flipping on me. That looks like a really big head and shoulders to me in the E-mini. From a pattern perspective, not necessarily a volume perspective, at least. I'm not trying to listen to him, to be honest. I do talk to him. I thought that, well, where did I buy again? Hello, Alexander. I'm about to leave, actually. I started to see the order flow change, so I thought I could get one in there. And then, but they're not doing the, yeah, but he said, you could buy in this area. I did kind of buy in the area that you could do it, and then it's not, and then it didn't hold, right? It's kind of, so when you say like, why do you not listen to that? You gotta think back to, maybe you weren't here, but you gotta think back to like May, and we've already been through this sort of thing. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. And you can't just say that because it was working that it's going to continue to work. The trade that I made there was a much different play. The offers were really trying to trap people. You know, maybe it was all just a trick so that they could get filled at 0.25, but you can see there is some buying here now at this spot in the E-mini. Curiously enough. It could potentially go either way. Hmm. Pulling in this thing is really fucking annoying. It'll pull to like 900 and not actually trade anything. There you go. Okay. Whew. I mean, I think it could move lower. It really depends on if the E-mini breaks a new swing high or not. But I wouldn't be surprised to see us go all the way down. Literally all the way. But I have to go now, so I can't hold it. It was 0.25. I don't know. Obviously, this one. Both of those really were not good trades, but. No, wait, I take that back. Oh, it was this one. This one was the one that I made the mistake on. I don't know. This was kind of another one of those things where it's like, it wasn't necessarily that I had some reads wrong, so much as it was that when I had a correct read, I wasn't able to get the profit off of it, and it came back too quickly. Which was why I didn't want to trade earlier in the day, but now that we got in a good downtrend, you know?
6 month. 2 years. 7 years. Settled December. Sent to sell $80 billion in the week. December.
Really, when we were all the way up here. And I cleared that thing so you can't see it. But when we had that volume short there, that was probably really kind of more of the signal that I would be looking for that I should take in. So I think if I point to a spot where I made a mistake, it was not taking that one. And then when I got this buy at 05 down in here, that should have been a profit that I didn't take. This right here. I caught that signal and it was right, but I didn't take the profit because I thought it was a bigger signal than it really was. And then this one I think was bad. Taking it here again and taking it here again, that was bad. So really 3 mistakes. 4 mistakes, and then on the 4th mistake I was able to fix it. I don't know if you will really want to buy it though. Anyways, I don't know. Like, look, you know, Swisso has a strategy, I have a strategy. It's different from his, right? Sometimes he's right. Sometimes he's wrong. Some of the ones that I've seen that were wrong were really wrong. And I don't actually know. Sometimes it seems like he's full of shit, and sometimes you kind of wonder. Like, it kind of sounds to me like you cannot trust.
Saying them.
And you know what else? Look, like, anybody can come in and say things, right? I just remember people came in and said, "Oh, you should buy this," and I said no, and I sold it, and it was like a super huge downtrend that day, and this guy was like trying to hold it the whole way. So like, people can come into chat and they can be full of shit and like be purposely trying to screw you up. Or maybe they're just another trader that's trying to sound more authoritative than they really are. And maybe it worked today and it doesn't work the other days. I don't have the information, nor do you, to be able to make that kind of determination about his trading because he has not shown us stats. And that's the problem. You can make conclusions about my trading because you can see the stats, right? This is the whole month. Oops, let's fix that. That's the whole month. Third refresh so that the numbers are right. Come on. There you go. Okay. I made a good 16 ticks this month, which is good. And I made a lot of really bad fucking mistakes in there too. That one was a really bad, that one was an unacceptable mistake. Right there. Okay. This day was unacceptable mistake. That one's unacceptable too. Well, that one's on the edge of acceptable. Anyways, okay. So like, I did okay. So, but we also know where I don't do well, right? Which is kind of in rangy action, and that's kind of where it's been. I saw an order flow signal, and it didn't work out. Well, it kind of worked out, but it didn't work out, and I just didn't manage it correctly. You know? You look at what they're trying to say. Well, they do have a good point on one thing, and that is that if you are in the middle of a range, you've got to consider the range. And it's better if you can buy on the edge of the range than right at the point of control. Totally true. That's completely true. But if you think that we're going to go across the range, then you can do that. If you think that we're going to bounce right off of it, which we do often too, you can take that too. But you still have to be aware of it. You know? The question here was like, are you going to buy it here at 02? What happens if the E-mini really does take off and we break the lows? Like, how do you know that's going to happen? You know that's going to happen? Is the range going to tell you that if that's going to happen? Right? And so that's, I guess my whole point here is that it's more than just saying, oh, he was right today, right? You need to know the strategy, and you've got to know when it's wrong and when it's not. That's what pisses me off about Powell yesterday, is they're all saying, hey, look, the inflation has undershot for years now, and you're not getting to your targets. At what point do you say, hey, maybe, you know, when do you admit where the Federal Reserve's models can be wrong and potentially do something about it? There's no acknowledgement from them whatsoever of the other side that the Fed might be wrong, that the numbers aren't showing up because the reason the economy looks so good is because it got front loaded or something like that. There, you know? And that's a problem. And if the Fed is wrong, it's going to be a really big fucking mistake. Right? So let's not get over read too much into one person coming into chat that we don't really know what their stats are and saying, they seem like they know what they're doing. Let's take it. Right? Let's base our trades off of long-term edges that we've traded and we know have a historical probability of doing well, and we are aware of when they work best and when they don't work the best. And let's take our trades based off of that. Okay? There was an iceberg there. It was a good trade. It was only worth 2. And then, because I lost one, I think I started doing dumb things. All right. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. I hope it's helpful. I know I'm not like the best trader in the world, but I do know a few things. And yep, I already posted my notes, so I will see you guys. Yep, I did post it. Okay. So yeah, I will trade tomorrow. Hopefully, that we get good trading tomorrow, but tomorrow might be even worse. So we'll see. And then it's break, and I won't see you until the start of the year. Okay? But I will still be around in chat, and I might stream in the evenings. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I will catch you guys later.